My name is Vivek Gurav, and to introduce me, I am a litter picker. I realized that people have different titles to give to me. Why don't they just call me something like a volunteer or a cleanup activist or a climate activist? But no, that was a problem. The society had a problem with someone like me, who was a professional software developer, who was well studied, who had graduated from an undergraduate college with an engineering degree, Bachelor of Computer Science. But they could not accept the fact that a person like me was going out there on the river bank every morning and picking up trash. Imagine being called a kachrawala on your face if you're going and picking up trash. That was a huge backlash I had to face few years ago. And that brings me to talk about the life changing moment in my entire journey, and that was in the year 2014 when I moved to a city called Pune. All of you might have heard about Pune. It's a big city. People go there for their higher studies with a lot of aspirations. Even I moved there from a small village from Maharashtra to Pune. Once I went there, I saw the first thing in the city was the river in the city called Muramutha, and that was a black river which was flowing through the heart of the city. It was like a drainage. It stinked. It was really filthy, and I couldn't stay there for a minute or two as well because I thought, oh, I come from a good village. There are clean rivers that flow through our villages. We can actually go and drink that clean river water as it is without even filtering. But when I came to Pune, I saw, oh, it was a polluted river, and that made me feel a bit conscious, a bit disappointed, because we all know we want to go to cities, we want to study there, we want to build our dreams there. But then what is the problem in the cities? That people are not careful enough about their natural resources. And that made me feel I need to do something about it. Now, that was a quick thought that came to my mind, that why not go and start cleaning that river in some form of ways? I am sure that all of you had this idea in your mind someday when you saw a filthy mountain, a filthy place where you went for trekking, or a beautiful place where you went as a tourist and you saw a lot of trash that was thrown away. Each one of us gets this idea. Why isn't it clean? Why is it so dirty and littered all wherever we go all the time? And then we also think about cleaning it up, right? And that's that one thought that came to my mind as well. And that was that intention of mine to change the situation at that place, to solve that problem that I had seen on at that location. My journey started as a software developer. I was in first year of my engineering. I went for another morning walk at a river that was nearby my college, and I saw that there was a huge amount of garbage that was dumped in that river. And I decided I am going to clean this up in any possible ways. So I went to talk to the local city council, municipal council, and I spoke to the commissioner there. And he was like, oh, we have placed a lot of dustbins across the river bank. There are a lot of facilities given by the local council, but people are not using it enough. So I went and spoke to people nearby in that city, and they were like, we do all the things that we need to do. We are paying enough taxes to the local body, to the government. So it's not our responsibility to keep everything clean. And this was the blame game. Everyone was pointing fingers towards each other. And that's when I realized, okay, enough with the blame game. I am here to solve the problem. What can I do as an individual? Or the problem, and there was this huge amount of blame game that was going on. People were pointing towards the government, saying we have paid all the taxes and we don't take care of the environment around us. And at the same time, the government, the local body saying that we have placed enough dustbins, we send our vehicles every day to pick up trash. So it's what we all we can do. And that's where this made me decide what is it that we are doing as individuals, going above and beyond to solve the problems in our surroundings and to do something for our mother earth. And that was the eco warrior within me got an ignition, and I was so inspired to do something that I went to the riverbank. I started picking up trash early in the morning at 5 a.m. and I told my friends that, guys, this is what I have done yesterday, and I felt so good. I cleaned up a 200 meters patch of the river side, and I picked up like 3 full bags of garbage. Why don't you join me tomorrow? I invited a few of my friends, and they were like, okay, let's try doing this. They joined me at 5 a.m. again, and this continued for 3 continuous months. And we realized we were able to transform the riverside into a cleanest place we had ever seen. And that became a cool hangout spot for all the students from my college who thought that the riverside was so filthy, so unhygienic, and so littered that they never visited that place. Now, that was an example of change. And how did that change trigger? With the simple intention that I had in my mind, I need to do something to solve this problem. We all have such intentions. We all have such positive thoughts in our mind. Every now and then we think about solving the problems in the world around us. But what stops us? What stops us is the intensity with which we strive to work on that intention. We need to think about what came to our mind? What was the thought that helped us think about the world around us? A thought that was so selfish and not selfish. Selfless but not selfish, because intentions come in a way that they want to solve the problems for the bigger purpose of our lives, to solve the greater issues around us, so that the world is a better place to see. They come from our positive attitude, they come from our approach towards humanity, our approach towards the communities. And that's the empathy that we all as human beings have in us. I remember a few of the instances during my childhood when there was a local city council sanitation worker. We called them Mama, who used to come and clean the areas around our house. Every morning at 6 a.m., he used to come and clean up the litter that was thrown by people. And that was me when I was in class 6. And I asked that Mama that, why do you do this? Why are you picking up someone else's rubbish? And that's when he told that I get paid to do this work, but also it's my responsibility to clean our city, because it's our city. We need to keep it clean exactly the way we clean our houses and surroundings. And that thought struck me for a long time, uh, that we do not take the responsibility of our surroundings, our environment, our planet. And that's the reason today, at this moment of time, we are facing severe crisis across the world. We are seeing problems due to plastic pollution, and now the bigger problems in life that are climate change. Everything around us is changing. We are seeing that the earth is exceeding all the boundaries that were set for the amount of natural resources we could use, the amount of virgin plastic that could be produced on this planet. Everything is beyond limits right now, and we are helpless because we cannot face the natural crisis in a way that we can save ourselves. So that's how we see the huge calamities across the world right now. And that brings in a lot of eco anxiety. What is eco anxiety? The stress, the depression that comes in our minds because of the problems that we see in the surroundings and the climate around us. What are we going to do? We are helpless in front of the environment, in front of the nature, with a huge earthquake coming in, which with a landslide that is coming across. You cannot run away from it. You're going to face this severe crisis. But what can be done? And that's when intentions come into picture. I thought of solving a problem. I started doing something, and that gave birth to a movement called Pune. In the year 2019, I decided to culminate all my social initiatives into one community campaign, which was called Pune Ploggers. And the campaign was based on plogging. So, what is plogging? It's a combination of jogging and picking up plastic, an idea that originated in Sweden in the year 2016. It's a very simple activity where you wake up in the morning, you take a bag of plastic or something to pick up all the litter on the street, you start jogging, and while you're jogging you simultaneously pick up all the rubbish you see on the streets. Imagine doing this every day for yourself because you're jogging, and for the environment because you're picking up trash simultaneously. That's a multi-purpose activity, and I loved it, and that's why I decided to build a community of such bloggers in Pune. We started in October 2019. It's been almost 4 years now. And now we have grown to a community which hosts more than 10,000 active bloggers across the world. Today, I'm talking from London, and we have a huge community of bloggers in the United Kingdom as well. Now, what brought me to the United Kingdom is a story that I will share a bit later. But this whole process of building a community and bringing so many people together, but at the same time, imagine the intentions of each of these individuals who decided to wake up early in the morning at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. on a weekend, come out of their houses, meet so many people together, and start picking up trash. They had some intention in their mind. And I decided to leverage that power of intention amongst all those individuals, those thousands of people who wanted to bring about a change in the world. So it was just my intention when I started. But when these thousands of people came together, it was a huge force of thousands of people with positive intentions to bring that change in the world. I did not think of such an imagination. I did not think of such a huge scale of community of bloggers coming together and trying to solve a problem as simple as litter. People throw litter, but what really needs to be done is to change the mindset of people. And that's how innovative ideas kept on coming. And we started with an amazing initiative called Chalk of Shame. What is Chalk of Shame? We take a chalk, we draw circles around the cigarette butts which are littered on the street, and we write sarcastic slogans to tell people why they are doing it, what they are doing, and how it is wrong. And in terms of raising awareness, we started writing messages on the road everywhere. And that initiative went viral. We got millions of views for such posts on our social media handles, and it became a huge nationwide initiative again. So, Chalk of Shame, a tool that could boost the creativity of individuals like all of us. There was sarcasm in each one's of our mind, and we thought to use that idea to write some slogans on the road to raise awareness. Now that was a problem we used to solve. um, the problem of littering of cigarette butts and then tobacco packets everywhere on the streets. That's how intentions came into picture, and they solved small problems like raising awareness. When we come together as a community, we are fostering the values like equality, diversity, inclusion, because it's a community of like-minded individuals who have some intention to change the world. And we let them thrive their own ideas, work on the solutions, and try to bring about the change in the society. At the same time, when we were discussing about all these issues, one day I decided to actually study climate science, and my community decided to send me abroad to study in the UK, from a renowned university where climate scientists who work with the United Nations and generate reports like IPCC actually teach. And those were my professors when I moved to UK for my masters. Um, I am a software developer by profession, and when I decided to pursue a master's in climate science, all the universities rejected my admission proposals because I was not well qualified in terms of my background, in terms of my professional experience, because I was working in an IT industry. But when I decided to give up my job and I applied at one of the eminent universities in the UK, University of Bristol offered me a full scholarship to study MSc in Environmental Policy and Management. Now, this was a shocking response from the university, and I decided, oh, I will definitely go and pursue the course at University of Bristol, because I had no money to pursue masters abroad. I had no funds left in my accounts. I come from a very humble background. My father is a farmer and my mother is a retired primary school teacher. So there was no one in the family who could support me financially. At the same time, all the banks rejected loans because it's difficult in our country to get a loan on the farm land that we have. You cannot use it as a collateral security for your education loan. So raising money as much as 35 lakhs in a year was not possible. But that year was really crucial for me to go abroad and study, because my community was scaling up. A lot of individuals were joining us, but we needed that expertise as a climate scientist, as an environmental policy maker. And I decided to take that charge. I gave everything so that I could get an admission in a foreign university. And for someone like me who comes from a small village, had never seen a dream of even studying abroad. But imagine all these intentions of changing the world, bringing about a change in the society, helped me to land into a country of dreams and aspirations where I could actually talk to climate scientists, do a lot of research, and learn so many things that could change the world and transform the world. Last year, we could expand the blogging community across UK. I got an opportunity to travel 30 cities in the UK in 30 days. I never thought I would be able to do that. Imagine a small town boy who came to Pune for his bachelor's education, and he gets a huge opportunity to travel abroad, settle down in London, study climate science, but at the same time gets opportunity to explore the entire foreign land like the United Kingdom. It was a challenge that I had taken, travel to 30 cities in 30 days. Now, traveling 30 cities in 30 days when there was a huge snowfall happening in the country. But every day I went to these 30 cities, picked up trash, spoke to the communities here, and started establishing blogging communities across the UK. Now we have thousands of active blogging communities in the UK as well. How could a small initiative that started in Pune went on to expand across 32 cities in India, and now it's present globally with a huge task force happening in the London as well. This initiative got recognized by the Prime Minister of England, United Kingdom. One fine day, I get a call from the Prime Minister's office, and it meant that the Prime Minister had declared a Points of Light award to whole campaign called Pune Floggers. And I was invited to 10 Downing Street, which is the official residence and office of the Prime Minister of UK. I got an opportunity to meet Mr. Rishi Sunak. I spoke about blogging initiative in the campaign. Now that was a recognition that we did not think we will ever get in this whole journey. Now we are a global voice. And what made this small campaign transform into a global voice was that intention that never let us sleep, never let us see any dream that was smaller. We wanted to expand, we wanted to reach out to as many youngsters as possible and build a community that could thrive on the simple idea of change making. So if you all have that thought that you want to do something in the community, if you see a small street animal whom you feel like feeding something, if you see you want to go and plant trees, if you think you want to change the face of the slums in the communities around you, You can do it. You have to believe it yourself. Take that one step after your intentions and your thoughts, that to be able to bring them into action, you need to empower those intentions. And how do you empower those intentions? Think about million possibilities that can happen when you take that next step. Talk to your peers, talk to your friends, go and tell it to your parents and tell them that I just thought of something like this and I want to do it. Tell it to yourself 100 times you want to do it, and you will be able to do it immediately. There are so many people to help you out there, and I am an example of an individual who failed a million times, who was denied any opportunity because I came from a small background, who did not have enough money. But there are people who would believe in you if you tell them the right intention that you have, the thought process you have behind doing something, and everything will work out in the end, because it's that small intention that can change the world, that can take you to any level you want. It's your hard work, it's your perseverance, it's your intentions that matter the most. Thank you.